Welcome to my channel Adhyan with Flow. Let's start our new topic, circulatory system. Yes, we are going to discuss about how the circulatory system performed by heart, your favorite organ heart. Okay, so circulatory pathway divided into two parts. First is open circulatory system and second is closed circulatory system. Open circulatory system present in lower vertebrates and closed circulatory system present in mammals. Alright guys, means invertebrates, not vertebrates. Vertebrates have closed type of circulatory system. What is the difference between open circulatory system and closed circulatory system? The difference is, first is they present in lower intervertebrates and these are present in vertebrates. Okay, the next point is they passes their blood into the open space, open body cavity. We call it as a sinuses. They passes their blood into body cavity. There is lack of arteries, vena cava, aorta. They does not have high profile arteries, arterioles, veins and all. But vertebrates contain all kind of vessels, all kind of arteries, aorta, vena cava, arterioles. So this is the difference between open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. Closed circulatory system is highly organized, and these are less organized. They are more complex and they are simple because they found in invertebrates, and invertebrates structure is less complicated. Some examples like mollusca, like arthropoda, largest phylum, and here example is higher vertebrates, guys. So these are the basic difference between open and closed circulatory system. Okay, which the blood pumped by heart is always circulated through a closed network of blood vessels. This pattern is considered to be more advantageous as the flow of fluid can be more precisely regulated. This is the feature of closed circulatory system. Now let's discuss about heart. Okay, let's start some brief discussion about heart. These are muscular chambered. It means heart contains chambered. The first point about heart, the heart contains chambered. It means some animals contain one chambered, some animals contain two chambered, some animals contain three chambered, and some animals contain four chambered heart. Let's read one by one. Which kind of animals contain two chambered heart? The example is fishes. Fishes contain two chambered heart. This is the another property. Two chambered heart means like this. Look at here. This is the two chambered, not look like this, guys, not look like this. This is the two chambered heart. One atrium and one ventricle. Look at here, one atrium and one ventricle. Let's switch towards what kind of animals contain three chambered heart. The example is some amphibians and reptiles except crocodiles. So these are contain three chambered heart. Two atrium and one ventricle. They found in amphibians and some reptiles maximum reptiles except crocodiles, because crocodile contain four chambered heart like us. So crocodile contain four chambered heart, and human also contain four chambered heart. Clear, guys? And another example is birds also contain four chambered heart. Clear, guys? Very clear. Two atrium and two ventricle. This is the second property. First property is they are muscular. They have muscular chambered, and give some example of chambered. Now, in fishes, the heart pumps out deoxygenated blood, which is oxygenated by the gills and supplied to body parts, from where deoxygenated blood is returned to the heart. They said fishes have two chambered heart, atrium and ventricle. These two parts contain oxygenated blood also and deoxygenated blood also, and then supply to whole body oxygenated blood, and they carry from whole body deoxygenated blood. Okay, and they filter through gills. This type of circulation we call it as a single circulation. In amphibians and reptiles, the left atrium receive oxygenated blood. Left side atrium left atrium, what they receive? They receive oxygenated blood. From the gills, if they have gills, then collect with oxygenated blood with gills. If they have lungs, then they collect oxygenated blood from the lungs. And deoxygenated blood is carried out by right side of atrium. Right side of atrium. So this is the mechanism of amphibians. Alright. Now next, in birds and mammals, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood received by left and right atria respectively. Means oxygenated blood carried by left side of atria and deoxygenated blood carried by right side of atria. In mammal circulatory system, we were going to study deeply. Okay. Next. Alright. This is the starting of human circulatory system. We complete our heart description. Now heart is made up with muscles and muscles made up with mesoderm layer. It means during gastrulation stage, 3 kinds of germ layer is produced: endoderm, mesoderm and ectoderm. So heart is made up with this layer. So heart is mesodermal in origin. Mesodermal in origin. Muscles is also originated by mesoderm. Alright. Connective tissue or blood also originate by mesoderm layer. Where heart is located? Heart is situated in the thoracic cavity or chest, covered with ribs. They are located between in 2 lungs and slightly tilted to the right side. Not totally left side. It's still tilted. Alright. Now it is protected by double walled membrane bag. We can call it as a pericardium. This is the covering of the heart. Now next, this is enclosing the pericardial fluid between the 2 membrane. I said na, double walled membrane. So between the membrane there is fluid over there. We can call it as a pericardial fluid. Why this fluid is present between the 2 membrane? Why? Because in case of any shock condition and any deficiency of fluid, the double layer never link, never attach. That's why this fluid separate this membrane. Our heart has 4 chambered, we know. 2 relatively smaller chambered, we call it as a atria. We have 4 chambered heart. The smaller part 1 and 2, these are atrium, and these are large portion, we can call it as a ventricles. Next, 2 larger lower chamber, lower side, and these are located upper side. Now a thin muscular wall called, listen to me, a thin muscular wall called the interstitial septum. I repeat again, interatrial septum. They divide, they separate right atria and left atria. This is the thin layer. This is the thin layer. What is the name of the thin layer would divide right atria and left atria? We call it as a interatrial. Look at guys, according to their name, atrial. They call it as a atrial septum, and also we can call it as a interatrial septum. Now, thick walled, the interventricular septum separate the left and right ventricles. This is the thick wall. Thick wall. We can call it as a according to their name, verticular septum. Now how many properties look like, guys? How many properties? We already discussed many properties here, and already this is the property of hearts, guys. Write down your bullets. The atrium and ventricle of the same side are also separated by a thick fibrous tissue called atrioventricular septum, and another muscular part, fibrous part present. They divide, this portion is separately and this portion is separately. We can call it as a, this is made up of fibrous. Fibrous is what? They are fiber like structure, and this is the part of ECM, extracellular matrix, very strong. We can call it as a atrial ventricular septum. This is the interatrial septum, this is the interventricular septum, and this divide into 2 parts. These are atrioventricular septum. Each of these septa are provided with an opening through which 2 chambers of same side are connected. The opening between the right atrium and right ventricle is guarded by valve. We can call it as the cups. The tricuspid valve, whereas a bicuspid or mitral guard is opening between the left atrium. Here some openings are present. At here there is tricuspid opening here. They look like this. Tricuspid. They open and blood goes down, and here also opening present. We can call it as a bicuspids. They look like this, and they open their gate and blood flow atrium to ventricle. The opening of right and left ventricle, look at here, the opening of right and left ventricle into the pulmonary artery and aorta respectively are provided with the semilunar valve. If valve is present between pulmonary artery, okay, the valve is called it as a semilunar valve. The valve in heart allows the flow of blood only in one direction. Of course, these are atrium and these are ventricle. There is tricuspid and there is bicuspid. They flow unidirectionally, up to down. That's it. Not this direction, no. So there is some nodes over there. SAN node. These are very, very, very important, guys. Atrioventricular AVN node and some Purkinje fibers, bundle of hinge also there. Where is name? Look at here, Purkinje fibers. Look at here. This is the right atrium. This is the left atrium. This is the right side ventricle and this is the left side ventricle. Assume na guys, assume. Here is SAN node is situated. Here is SAN node situated. We can call it as a pacemaker of heart. What they do, they take stimulus. They take stimulus and they transfer their stimulus towards here, opening of atrium and ventricle. Here AVN node is present. They transfer stimulus towards AVN node. These are electrical signals, guys. They are highly electrical signals, beyond the level, electric signals. This is also called it as a pacemaker. But as a node give more and more contribution towards getting the stimulus, and this is the second important pacemaker. This is the first important pacemaker. And now AVN, they supply stimulus towards the bundle of his. There is a bundle of his, bundle of hinge. Whatever I explain here na guys, already written here, don't take tension. And now hinge fibers divided into some mini fibers. We can call it as a Purkinje fiber. They supply their message in an electric way. If assume this SAN node not function properly, then AVN not do their function, no problem. So this is all about SAN, AVN, Purkinje fiber. Why this is the name is Purkinje? Because a scientist who described this thing, so according to their name. Okay, if SAN node present, then our heart pump 70 to 75 times. Yeah, this is the average time. If we remove SAN, now the heart will pump 30 to 40 times. That's it. This is the difference of SAN or AVN functioning mechanism. So this is the introduction about your heart, guys. This is the aorta. Look at here, aorta. This is the pulmonary vein. Why the name is pulmonary? Because they attach with lungs, so their name is pulmonary. Pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. Okay, this is the left atrium, this is the right atrium. Look at here, this is the SAN node and this is the AVN node, guys. And what is this? These are Purkinje's fiber. Look at here, this is the bundle of hinge, bundle of his. All right, and now where is Purkinje? Where is Purkinje? This is the Purkinje. This is the Purkinje. Purkinje fibers. Aorta provide oxygenated blood throughout the body, and vena cava contain deoxygenated blood throughout the body. All right, guys. Now this is the left ventricle, and this is the right ventricle, and this is the, look at here, this is the cardiac tendai. Next, there is some valves are situated. This valve is tricuspid valve, and this valve is bicuspid and mitral. They call it as a mitral valve also. And this is the septum, interventricular septum. This is the interventricular septum, and here not visible, but here also interarticular atrium septum is present. So this is all about your heart. This is all about your heart. And now that's all for now. In our next video we will talk about cardiac cycle. All right, this is the cardiac cycle and also ECG. All right, guys, so we will meet in our next video, and thanks for watching my video. And if you like my video, then please subscribe my channel Adhyan with Flow. This is not a hormone. And thank you for giving me time. Thank you so much for listening me. Keep smiling, and revision is most important. Your NEET examination is coming. Thank you.